Devil May Cry 5. Does it live up to the hype, and does it rate when compared to the previous entries into the franchise? Hell yeah, it does. I picked up the game on launch day and basically didn't put it down until I completed my first playthrough at sometime around 4 AM on Sunday. The story gripped me just as much as Devil May Cry 4 had back in 2008. Just as a side note, Devil May Cry 4 was my gateway into this franchise. But let's get into why I love the game so much and why you should give it a try.
Become an agent and subscribe to SD3 Entertainment today.
DMC5 takes place sometime after Devil May Cry 4, and Nero has started his own Devil May Cry shop and has been hunting down demons along with Nico, a new addition to the franchise. Roughly a month before the story actually begins, a mysterious figure appears to take Nero's Devilbringer, leaving him with one arm. A month later, the Demon King, Urizen, appears in Redgrave City. So, Nero, Dante, and the new character V must take on the demonic horde.
You look like you need a hug, but you're not gonna get one from me. Better get lost.
Hey, who are you? Hey, you're gonna get yourself killed!
Don't crap yourself. He likes to kill demon things. Let him do his thing.
You hear what I said, you dumb one-armed son of a bitch? You're gonna die!
Cheer up, crew cut. You taking notes?
The plot has its satisfying twists and turns, but I don't want to spoil too much of the story. I will say that Virgil's return is amazing, and his fight with Dante is just stunning. DMC5 sees a return to the classic stylish action of the previous games, and it improves upon it many times over. The characters of Dante, Nero, and V all feel unique and are all a joy to play as they bring with them new combos and mechanics. Dante has 4 long-range weapons and 4 melee weapons that he can switch between on the fly. He also has the ability to switch between 4 combat styles which afford him new traits and abilities. These can get quite hard to keep up with, trust me. Nero plays much like he did in Devil May Cry 4, only instead of his Devilbringer, he has his Devil Breakers, and each one has its own set of abilities and uses. At the end of the game, Nero acquires a new set of powers that you can use in New Game Plus. Lastly, we have V, who plays much differently than the previous 2 characters. He is perhaps the easiest to get triple S ranks with, but for me, he was the least fun to play. He attacks using his familiars, one for close range combat and the other for long range. V himself does not attack unless it's to deal the finishing blow on an enemy. I played DMC5 on the PS4 Pro, and man was it clean as hell. I really don't have any complaints about the graphics. The facial animations were great, and you could easily see the characters' emotions and what they were thinking just off of their expressions. The minute details that they put into the facial expressions was probably one of my favorite parts of the game. Sure, this created a small adventure through the Uncanny Valley, but nothing too painful. The storytelling was much better than I expected. I found myself wanting to push through the game just to absorb more of it. The characters were pretty compelling, and the over-the-top action was beautiful. The game's opening sequence reminded me of Deadpool's opening credits, and that was a great addition as it really primed you for what was to come. Like I said before, the gameplay was also outstanding and just solid. There were a few other things about the story specifically that stood out to me, but again, I'm trying to stay away from spoilers, so if you want to know more about my thoughts on that, just hit me up in stream or in the comment section below. There were very few things about this game that I didn't like, and the only one that's worth mentioning is the camera. It got quite frustrating a few times during my first playthrough because of how it interfered with my combos, as the commands shifted based on the camera. After a few missions, my brain adjusted and I was able to figure things out, but it was a pain in the ass to deal with initially. But to be honest, that's really my only gripe. Yeah, so moving on. The short answer to that question, hell yeah, pick this game up if you're a longtime fan or if you're new to the franchise. This game won't disappoint you, especially if you like the hack and slash genre. The game is only about 10 or 11 hours long, but it has plenty of replay value and will keep you entertained for quite some time. Matter of fact, I will be starting my New Game Plus on Twitch later this week, so, you know, shameless plug, come through if you haven't already. Anyway, agents, let me know your thoughts on Devil May Cry 5 and if you plan to pick it up in the comment section below. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to stay up to date on all things anime, gaming, and geek. I'll see you guys in the next one. Agent SD3 out.